Greetings, beloved. Om Swastiastu from Bali. Sex has been a taboo topic for centuries, especially for us women. And today I'd like to talk about twin flame sex and how to get what you want in bed. This is specifically for women, but you guys will get some good inspiration ideas from this to bless not only your boudoir, but your twin flame tantric energies, to heal the planet, to clear energy. So let's drop in. As we shift towards a more open and conscious society, it's time to embrace sexuality as sacred, not as a separate thing, as something outside of our chakra system, but a part of ourself. And sex makes things more connected, more intimate, and easier to manifest our desires and to have a deeper bond with our twin flame. So I'm going to give you some tips, 6 tips, and a little extra magic sprinkled on top, not only about how to get what you want in bed in the twin flame style, but also how to get more intimacy, joy, and fulfillment in your life. And this is what has worked for me, and some of these secrets are what I share with my students and clients. So the first key is to, before getting in bed, before getting intimate, to get really clear on the intention behind your journey together. So this is the macrocosm of like, what is this relationship about? What are our values? What are our vows? I work with women and bring women to heal themselves, to create actually a self-marriage ritual where they do a self-marriage vow writing. They write their vows and they do their own ceremony, and I help marry them to themselves and create that anchor so that they're not just in a relationship like, what do I want? What are my boundaries? What are my needs? It's very clear in themselves. So it's important to have that with our own selves. And it's also, when we're in union, important to have our vows, whether you're legally married or if you have an agreement to be together in life. It's important to know, what are your intentions of being together? And with those intentions in mind, in heart, and in embodied, when we decide to come together for a tantric experience, a sexual experience, it's important to have an intention, both parties. And with my husband and I will both share, what is our intention for this session? And it's really nice to know, maybe that person just wants to release some energy. They've had a stressful day and they would like more connection, or they're feeling really raw and rough and they would rather just have like gentle stroking and have it feel sensual and just see where things go. So having a conversation and sharing your intentions before going off to the moon is really a helpful thing. So take a few moments before getting into bed to set your intentions for the experience. What do you want to feel? What do you want to experience together? What do you personally want to experience? We also work with sex magic and orgasmic manifestation. What do you want to manifest? Be specific and clear in your intentions, and the universe will align with your desires. Key two is to release the guilt and shame. And I grew up feeling like I was in the wrong body. I thought I was fat. I was not. I mean, I'm still like, eat whatever I want, and I'm a small, thin person, but I had this body image shame, and I didn't realize it until later that, working with a therapist, I had an experience where somebody in my family told me I was disgusting and gross when they saw me naked, and it stayed in my auric field for many, many years. And so being naked in front of partners was really a hard thing for me. And there was a lot of also Christian and Catholic and Jewish programming religiously about, I need to, cover up, otherwise I'm disgusting, there's something wrong with me. So it's important to have practices to let go of shame and guilt surrounding sex, to do healing work. Especially we women have been conditioned to believe that sex is bad, it's dirty, it's shameful, and something to be hidden away. Men have this as well, but somehow there can be this sort of like Catholic religion where it's like it's more okay for the men to cheat and the women get stoned. And we come from these histories where now it's maybe getting a little bit more free in the West, especially, where we can let it all hang out, but there's still the roots of persecution against the body, against our power, against our divine connection. So we can have those thoughts of sex is not divine. And if we do it, then we're committing an act of sin, and that we're evil, we're dark, we're bad. And it's natural to want to connect with our partners, especially if we're in twin flame union and we're in a safe and holy space, and we're choosing to be consensually loving together, bridging love and light, and we can still have these weird thoughts that, oh my gosh, this is wrong. And it's like a duality kind of thing. So we want to address the judgment, shame, and guilt around sex. Our sexual energy is a powerful force that can be used for manifestation, co-creation with the universe, and procreativity, as well as deep connection with the soul of our beloved. When we let go of this shame, this fear, this guilt, we can allow ourselves to fully connect with the universe, with our sexual energy, with the divine, which then leads to a more fulfilling experience outside of the bedroom. So the bedroom, just like your yoga mat, they say in yoga, your yoga mat is like a microcosm for how you live life, and that's the same in a twin flame sacred sexual union. Your boudoir is a sacred temple that isn't meant to just stay. The energies are meant to expand and go out into the world, your love, your connection, of course, in a healthy and appropriate way. Don't go out and do PDAs everywhere. But this is the idea, as above, so below, as within, so without. As in that boudoir, as we shine and share our light. And if we're feeling shame in here, then it doesn't support us to have a life filled with this guilt and shame. So practicing safe sexuality, sacred sexuality, is going to heal our relationship in the business world, our body image, our way that we may be shaming others or putting guilt in others' spaces. So it's important to dive deep and intimate and turn the lights on in the skeletons in the closet, in the boudoir, and heal. Key 3 is communication with your partner in union. Communication is a play on words, because it's a key to any relationship, especially when it comes to sacred sexuality. To be open, to be honest with your partner about your desires, fantasies, and boundaries takes away the veil of fear, guilt, and shame. And it can be very humbling. It can be very vulnerable to put our hearts out there, to put our kink out there, to put our fantasies out there. Even if you've been married, even if you've been with your partner for a decade or more, like I have. Oh, actually, not a decade or more, almost a decade. I still have I want something. I still have this little fearful, shameful, doubtful part of myself, and it's okay. Remember, it's important to share your needs and desires and to listen to your partners as well. And this is what's going to create that safe and sacred bubble. I call it like the bubble of energy, because we're putting, every time we go into the bedroom, it's like we're going into the temple, we're building upon the energies. And the more you start to go, wow, my partner held space for me last time, I cried, he, she, they held me, they explored with me this new depth inside of my soul, and it was great. The more you build upon it each time, it's like the temple. You don't want to build a temple here and go one time and then go to another temple. You want to start accumulating the energies, the sacred sexual energy, the trust, the intimacy is cumulative, and it starts to have compound interest. So with the communication, be open, be honest about what it is that you want, and be non-judgmental when they share something with you. And even if they might say something that might come off as offensive or immature, hold that sacred neutral space of asking questions. You can share from your heart. Well, when you said that, I did this and you didn't like it, I had this insecurity that came up. I felt maybe I'd done something wrong, and I don't want to wrong you. So instead of getting defensive, we want to use these powerful communication tools, which is why I share communication in Twin Flame Relationship on this channel and in our Twin Flame Alchemy formula. It's one of the 11 phases, communication. It's key to creating a healthy, safe, flourishing relationship. So work on your nonviolent communication skills, your active listening skills, your imago dialoguing, your circling, your authentic relating. All these tools can build the keys to our relationship. And no tantric union is safe unless we are really spending time communicating. So therapy in bed, baby. That's what it is. 4, twin flame energy connecting. Connect with your twin flame energy together. If you're not already familiar with the concept of twin flames, it's the idea that our soul is split into 2 halves and we spend our life searching for our other half. I don't really know if that's real. And some even believe that it's a dangerous concept because we're indeed already whole. I think of it like this: we're already one with the universe, and we've somehow gotten into this little microcosm, and that we're essentially trying to go back into the one, and that we need someone to mirror, or it serves us to have our mirrors, and that if we're always changing mirrors, if we don't have a long-term monogamous partnership, then, and it could be polyamorous, or it could be a long-term partnership that changes with different people. Maybe that's their form of twin flame. But for me, I love that I've known my partner for a decade, and we plan to be together for many decades. And there are days where I'm like, I want a new partner. I want to go out and, have different experiences like when I was in my 20s, and it would be fun and adventurous. I have these dreams at nighttime where I'm like, I just want to get out of this relationship. And I wake up in the morning, or even in the dream, it'll transmute to, I'm so grateful for my partner. And I look over and I'm so grateful. But there's this duality, right? Where we are split from this other half. And then there's also this, I want to be with everyone in the universe, and everything in the mirror is our twin flame. So in the twin flame sacred sexual union, we're making this commitment, this connection. We're building upon it. We're partners. We're partnering up. Maybe you have an agreement where you're monogamous, like I do. Maybe you have a lifelong agreement with your partner and beyond, like I do. And whatever it is that you define for twin flames is totally, I honor it. And the idea that we are two whole mates, I think, is really the important thing, is that we get to, when we come together sexually, physically, spiritually, emotionally, on all levels with our other quote unquote half, our twin flame mirror, or the chosen person in our lives right now who's representing that. Maybe we get it wrong even. Maybe there are people that I know, and I was one of them. Oh, this must be my twin flame. It's definitely my twin flame. We have all these signs and everything. By the way, if you want to get the signs, the 22 signs of twin flame reunion, click below. I'm going to put the checklist because it is, to me, the most accurate 22 twin flame signs. I've worked with people for over a decade. I've worked with tens of thousands of people and connected with tens of thousands of people on social media, and seen these signs and learned what I see being a healthy, lasting, sacred union. And these are the top 22 signs that you can tell. So if you're wondering if someone is your person and you're like, is this my person? Are we twin flames? This is kind of like it is a checklist that will give you the idea of, are you a whole mate? Are you ready? Are you both ready? Are you ready to be together? And it has helped over 15,000 women to decide and give them some clues and guidance. So click the complimentary checklist below. All right. So in our union, when we connect with our twin flame energy with unconditional love in bed, we remember that we are already whole and complete within ourselves. That's what it's for. So in our sacred sexuality practices, we can reflect this wholeness and love back in the twin flame mirror, so our partners can feel their wholeness and full selves too. Because ultimately we are all whole. And because we came from mothers and we were separated, and we have this desire to have that oxytocin bond, that deep divine union physically with our mother that we have with the universe, there's going to always be this desire to connect, and that's healthy and that's beautiful. And I think people that go off to the mountain and meditate and do the monk thing, that's a beautiful experience as well, because we can harness that within. But if we're not really accessing our deep sacred sexuality and opening up vulnerability and reflecting that both the wholeness within ourselves, and also owning with wholeness and responsibility and integrity, saying, I long for more. I long for you. I long for you to fill my hole, literally, physically, baby, fill my hole. But also, I long for you to fill the places in me that were once abandoned. Ultimately, they cannot do that. But by giving yourself as this offering, I heal myself through you, and I offer you as a healing template through which you can heal yourself, and that we heal our union. It's a symbolic thing. Ultimately, we are healing ourselves. This mirror is a reflection of us. But without our reflections, if we say we don't need anything, we don't need any human contact, I'm going to march up to the mountain and be the most enlightened master, we often end up needing to incarnate so many lifetimes being gurus and healing other people and giving. And then we build this karmic tie where we've given so much healing light, but we're actually lacking the desire to be with an equal and be bonded and connected to. So it's great if you follow an enlightened master, if you follow a guru. I also believe that what an incredible thing to be an enlightened master and also come down to the ground, be human again, and learn how to walk like a baby holding mommy's hand, daddy's hand. And that's what a twin flame union is. It's learning how to be tender, to be a baby, to be vulnerable, to be the most basic particle that's in chaos and the most involved and enlightened and evolved. So can you be both a masterful guru in your relationship and also be that wah baby, I have the pain, take care of yourself, support your partner, witnessing them as they care for themselves. And that's really what care is. I think it's not I'm caring for you and you're caring for me, but I'm not caring for me and I'm codependent. It's I'm caring for myself. I'm carrying my own karmic stuff, and I'm taking responsibility for it. And at the same time, we're walking hand in hand and we're merged and we're bonded. And therefore, it's even more important that I'm clean in my space. And also, I love myself so much that I'm in overflow. I am overflowing with love for you. And I, as a twin flame, care for myself so much that my care and love is only going to hold you as you care and love. And if you don't care and love for yourself, you're probably not going to want to stick around because energy is magnetic. Like attracts like. Sometimes polarity can attract, but it doesn't sustain. So when we care for ourselves, we love ourselves, we heal ourselves, that's the portal that opens for our partner and for the union. 5, heart chakra connection. To connect with your twin flame energy, focus on the heart chakra. The heart is the gateway. It is the galactic gateway that we can open the worlds. Also the yoni and lingam, and we're all the chakras, but the heart is the center point of our toroidal field. So when we're making love, we're not just making love with genitals, with third eye. The physical organs are the biological intercourse, but truly the heart is the cellular intercourse. So one of the powerful practices is to sit in yab yum, set your intentions. The divine feminine then chooses to receive his light once you have your foreplay and you're moving, and maybe you do some tantric dancing and feeding each other strawberries and chocolates and massages, and you get all sexy and hot, and maybe you're kinky, maybe whatever it looks like for you. There's no judgment. This is your sacred marriage, alchemical, mystical, energetic expression of the universe in fantasy and in 3D. You act it out. The divine feminine counterpart is then receiving light into her yoni. He is penetrating with his lingam into her, pushing her love. And actually, it works like this. She's penetrating him into his heart and also through the third eye. And she's looping from heart and third eye, and it goes up into her yoni, into her heart. She feels this love and light that he's given her. It comes up. She pierces through his heart, and she's looking in through his eyes and third eye, and it's going down. And it's actually really going both ways, because left and right, she is he, there's divine feminine, divine masculine, and everything. And when we can hold that role as perhaps as women, holding the space of the yoni, receiving from the lingam and moving it up. And it could also be through the throat, through sound. You can bless and bathe your partner in your holy sound. And I know this can be a little bit uncomfortable in the culture that we're in. Oh, someone can hear me making love, my husband is too loud, I'm too loud. But when we sing the song to our lover and we celebrate without fear and shame, I believe this is a huge blessing. So play with that. And this loop will deepen the connection and intensify your twin flame experience. One last tip is, before I close, is to practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful feeling that can enhance any experience, especially sex. So after you love make, take a few moments. Thank your partner and the universe for the experience. Maybe you bow to each other's special parts. Maybe you express a gratitude for the connection or a favorite moment. Wow, I really loved how you looked into my eyes and I had a moment of fear and you just kept on looking. Do that more. Give them positive feedback. Don't just walk away and clean up the mess and go to sleep, or just kind of cuddle in silence. Own this time, this new portal that's been created, expressing the gratitude. You can also express the gratitude for the manifestation, the orgasmic manifestation of your desires. I'm so excited to be moving into our new home. We did orgasmic manifestation. Now we are living in our dream home, and we did multiple ceremonies to call this in. And it is just, we're living in our lovemaking. How cool is that? So practice the gratitude, invite more abundance and joy into your lives. Twin flame sex can be sacred. It can be a deep spiritual practice for you, beloveds, by setting intentions, releasing shame and guilt, communicating with your beloved, connecting with your twin flame energy, and practicing gratitude, sex magic. You can experience more fulfillment and more satisfaction in bed and beyond. So click the cheat sheet below if you're curious to know, is your person that special person that belongs in your tantric boudoir? If you're confused and not sure, grab your 22 twin flame signs checklist. Remember to always honor your boundaries and listen to your body, as these are keys to a happy and healthy sexual experience. Embrace your sexuality and watch as your life transforms for the better. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste, namaste.